Hey everybody, my name is Mary Gibbs and welcome to Boo Grown Up. When I was 3 years old, I was the voice of Boo in Monsters, Inc., but it's been 20 years, so here I am sharing my life experiences and then starting to document some new ones. This episode is going to be all about the 2 months I spent volunteering in the Dominican Republic. So in high school, I loved learning Spanish. It was definitely one of my favorite classes. And during my junior year of high school, a group called Amigos de las Americas came into my class and did a presentation on a volunteer opportunity. Right away, I knew that this was something I wanted to do. I submitted an application, and once I got submitted, it was definitely a long process of preparation before we could actually go to our countries. So pretty much we choose our top 3, and then they divide it up and decide where we go ultimately. So again, it was decided that I got to go to the Dominican Republic. And after months of training, it was getting closer to our departure date, and I had to pack. I had to get a backpack, and for some reason, I thought I needed the biggest backpack. I forget that I'm 4'11". I got this huge backpack, probably the biggest one that they had, and stuffed it full of stuff I did not need. I definitely learned a lot about backpacking that trip. And then it was time to go. And so I went to the airport and met the group of around 20 other people that were also going to the Dominican Republic. And we spent the first couple nights together going over everything and getting to know everyone. And then it was time to get paired up with our partner and get told what community we were going to and what host family we were going to live with. And so we were taken to our house. Me and Aizley, my partner, we actually lived together in the same host family. And in that house, there was 2 rooms. We had a grandpa, a grandma, a mom, a dad, a little sister, and a little brother. That was the first challenge. And when I tell a lot of people that I went to the Dominican Republic, they're thinking the beach, they're thinking tropical, they're thinking vacation. But I was 3 miles from the Haitian border. There was no electricity, no running water. We had to take bucket baths. We had to pee in a bucket at night or in the latrine during the day. And yeah, I loved that. I loved that experience. And I think it's so important to have that experience when traveling. Yeah, of course, it's fun to go on cruises and go on those vacations where you stay in resorts, but it's also really good to broaden your perspective and see how other people live. And so, like I said, I lived there for 2 months. During that 2 months, I lived with them, I worked with them, I cooked with them, I cleaned with them, and I really got to see how they lived, and it was incredible. And we weren't just there to live, we were there to volunteer. And so right away, we had to set up children's camps. And so 5 days a week, we taught camps in Spanish about children's rights and public health. And we also played games with them. And so we had this big field, and it was overgrown, and it was hilarious. I told this group of 6 to 12-year-olds, come tomorrow with your machetes and we're gonna, we're gonna cut this field down so we could play. And we did it. And, before, they literally would take plastic and wrap it up with tape and play soccer or hit it with a bat. And, we brought them some balls, which was cool. We got to play soccer and got to play baseball and got to do a lot of fun things with them. And got to really bond with these kids. It was really sad when we got to leave, but it was really awesome while we were there. And another thing that we had to do with the program was set up a project with the community. So first it was setting up a community meeting to see what they wanted. We didn't want to just come in and say, this is what you need. We want to actually see what they want. And so we went door to door. We met everybody in the community. Here we are talking in Spanish. I was fluent enough then. I've lost it a little since, unfortunately. I have lived in Mexico, and I knew it enough to, get along with people there and pay my bills and everything. But anyways, we went around, got to know everybody, told everybody about this community meeting, and at the end of the week, majority of the people showed up. And then at this meeting, we had to get up, do a presentation about why we're there, ask everybody what they wanted, and it was decided that everybody wanted a park. And from there, we had to go into town and get the materials, and we actually cut down trees to use for the posts for our swings. And once we had everything, the whole community got together and we actually built this park. So we made benches out of cement. We had a few of those. We had a swing. We had a slide. And yeah, it was really awesome just seeing everybody come together and build something and actually have something substantial to leave when we left. And this community was amazing. There was definitely a lot of downtime, There was a lot of playing dominoes. That was a big thing that we got into. And my favorite, there was a lot of eating mangoes. And so there were mango trees everywhere. Neighbors would bring us bags of fresh mangoes. You can go and pick them from the tree and peel them open. And these are the juiciest mangoes I've ever eaten. And honestly, it's a little sad because it has ruined mangoes in the States for me. They're just not the same. My favorite part about the community was hands down all of the dancing. Especially learning bachata in the middle of the street with the whole community gathered together with trucks around to blast music, and it was great. And it's really cool to see that with a relative little amount of belongings, they're still having such an amazing time, and they are so happy. And matter of fact, the richest people that I've ever met, and they are very, very rich, let me tell you that, they are also the most unhappy people that I've ever met. And on the other side, these people, the most economically poor people by our standards that I've met, but also the happiest. And so it just proves that you don't need belongings, you don't need money to be happy. And that's just one of the many lessons that volunteering in this way has taught me, and really immersing yourself in someone else's life and really trying to understand how someone else lives. We also met a lot of really cool people. Shout out to Yoni. He was our best friend in the community. He really helped us out. He showed us the ropes. He showed us around. And yeah, he was a great friend of ours. And really everybody in the community was awesome. Our host family was really supportive. There was a couple incidents. Definitely our host family helped us out, our grandpa in particular. But we're in the Dominican Republic. We're on an island. There's bugs, and they're big. In the latrine, I saw a scorpion. There's cockroaches in the toilet. That's normal. You get used to it. And me and Aizley, we had to share a bed because there's not much space in the house. But we are sleeping under a bug net. So there's that, but it didn't help in this situation. So I have dreadlocks at this point as well. And I'm sleeping. Aizley is, I guess, awake at this point, wakes up for some reason. I don't even remember or know exactly how it went before this, but she wakes me up. Don't panic, but there's a tarantula crawling in your hair. And I'm like, don't panic. Of course I panic, freak out. I did not cry in that trip for homesickness, anything, but I did cry that night when there was a tarantula crawling in my hair, I'll tell you that. So there was that, and I'm freaking out, Aizzy's freaking out. I run and I wake up our grandpa. There's a spider in our room, it's huge, and he comes in all calmly, nonchalantly, grabs my sandal, my little tiny sandal, and just, bam, it's dead. And just like it's nothing. And me and Aizley are just still shocked at the whole situation. And, eventually I go back to bed, and there you go. You move on with your life. And, at night, everything is locked, and there's a bucket. If you have to pee, you pee in the bucket. If you have to take a shit in the middle of the night like I did, you have to break out of the house. So you want to try to not do that. But overall, I learned a lot during those 2 months. And even though my host family was awesome and the people in the community were amazing, the true highlight of my trip, I got to say, was meeting Aizley. We really became best friends during this experience. We really bonded during those 2 months. I mean, you could imagine we're spending every second with each other for 2 months, doing all these crazy things that are completely foreign, completely new to us, and yeah, it was really cool. Speaking of Aizley, Aizley has done amazing things since the Dominican Republic. She's actually joined the Peace Corps. She learned Swahili, and she lived in Africa. And so I actually wanted to bring her on this vlog to talk to you guys about that. And so here we go. Hello, Aizley.
Hi, my name is Aizley. I first met Mary when we were volunteers in the Dominican Republic with Amigos de las Americas in 2013.
So Aizley, I have a few questions for you. First question, what made you want to volunteer with Amigos?
The reason that I joined Amigos and chose to go to the Dominican Republic, when I was in high school, I had a Spanish teacher who had spent time in the DR, and he always talked about how great it was, and so that kind of planted a seed. So when the opportunity struck to participate in Amigos, I thought it would be a great opportunity to go there. And also I remember thinking that the project topic, which I believe was youth leadership and development, was something that really interested me. And so for those two reasons, I thought it was a great reason to go to the DR.
I talked a little bit about mine earlier, but what was your favorite part of the experience?
The favorite part of my experience was definitely meeting Mary and becoming friends. A lot of times people in Amigos will say you can either have a partner summer, as in the other volunteer that you're with, you can have a community summer, as in connecting with where you live, or you can have a project summer, as in connecting with the work that you're doing. And I think for me, I had a partner summer, so Mary and I were bonded at the hip and spent every waking moment together. It was a really challenging experience, and I think that bonded us in a way that time will never be able to impact it.
Do you have any funny stories about the Dominican Republic?
A few quick funny stories. The first one, I didn't know that she was Boo. Everyone else knew that she was Boo except for me, and so when we got randomly paired, I remember thinking like, yeah, this girl has dreads and she's really nice, but why is everybody obsessed with her? And I pulled out my journal 3 weeks into our time in our village, we were just having a conversation, and somehow it came to light that her dad was a director at Pixar and that she had been the voice of Boo. And I remember losing it and like freaking out because we had spent 3 weeks together, and that's such a formative part of her identity, and I had absolutely no idea. But that's how she knows that our friendship is true.
So after the Dominican Republic, I told everybody that you got into the Peace Corps and you did some pretty incredible things. But can you tell us why you wanted to get into the Peace Corps in the first place?
Volunteering in the Dominican Republic definitely sparked something for me. And so when I went to college the next year, I realized that I wanted to study international relations and international development. So that experience was really formative for me in learning about development for the first time. And eventually after college, that led me to join the Peace Corps. I don't know when I first learned about Peace Corps, but I do remember we had a hurricane scare when we were in the DR, and so we got evacuated to a hotel. And all of the volunteers were there for like a 3-day, we turned it into a retreat, but 3-day evacuation because of the hurricane. And Peace Corps volunteers had happened to be evacuated to our hotel as well. And they told us about their experiences and what the Peace Corps was like. And they told us that, well, when they heard about our experience, they told us it reminded them of like a Peace Corps Light or a Peace Corps for kids. And so after that experience, the Peace Corps is always something that appealed to me.
Overall, how was that experience for you?
My experience in the Peace Corps was great. I was a volunteer, an education volunteer in Rwanda. Love Rwanda. It's an incredible, beautiful country. Like I said, I studied development in college, and so the Peace Corps was it was my first real opportunity to apply the skills that I had learned in school and the things that I had studied in a real world context. And so although I spent 4 years studying development, the time I spent on the ground in Rwanda I learned so much more in that short amount of time than I ever could have learned in school, and I'll forever be grateful for that experience. In a lot of ways, the material struggles that I had in Peace Corps remind me very much of the things that Mary and I encountered in the Dominican Republic, and I think that experience prepared me well to know some of the day-to-day challenges that I could be facing.
So you volunteered with Amigos in high school, you volunteered with the Peace Corps. What has volunteering taught you?
I think my experiences with volunteering have overall been positive, and they've taught me a lot about myself, a lot about the world, and the things that I want to do. So like I said, after that first experience with Amigos, I realized previously I thought I wanted to be an engineer, and Amigos made me realize I actually wanted to work in development. And so these opportunities to serve abroad have given me the ability to hone in on my own skills and passions and figure out what I do and don't enjoy, and how I see myself being a capable, productive change agent in the development sector.
Thank you, Aizley. Thank you so much for coming on my show. It was really awesome to hear from you. I haven't seen you in forever. But I hope you enjoyed this vlog, everybody. This was a great time in my life that I definitely wanted to document. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and thank you for my subscribers I've got over these past few weeks. It really means a lot. So just another reminder to keep them coming. Please subscribe, please like this video, and stay tuned for more of my adventures, travels, and lessons I've learned. I'll see you guys next week.